Man has been conscious of the need for security since the beginning of his life on Earth, and he has continuously expressed his awareness of this need in many ways. With the formation and the evolution of human society, he has expressed these and other needs through the establishment of a state and the formation of laws. This was accomplished in order to ensure general security, settle disputes and conflicts that threaten society, and oppose external threats to its security posed by other nations. The development of these man-made laws did not come to completion except in the last few centuries as the result of a long process of trial and error. By contrast, the law of Islam was sent down to Muhammad, may the mercy and blessing of God be upon him, in its complete form as a part of his final message to humanity. Islamic law pays the most careful attention to this matter and provides a complete legal system. It takes into consideration of changing circumstances of society, as well as the constancy and permanence of human nature. Consequently, it contains comprehensive principles and general rules suitable for dealing with all the problems and circumstances that life may bring in any time or place. In Sharia law, we have another topic which discusses what is the crime and what is the punishment. The body of law dealing with wrongs that are punishable by the state with the object of deterrence is known as criminal law. Islamic criminal law recognizes three categories of these wrongs. The first is the hudud, plural of had, a limit set by God, the contravention of which leads to a prescribed and mandatory penalty. The second, ta'zir, chastisement, comprises those crimes not included among the hudud because their punishment is discretionary. Ta'zir implies the correction or rehabilitation of this culprit. Hence, punishment is left to the judge and might vary depending upon who inflicts it and upon whom it is inflicted. The third category is qisas or retribution. It is concerned with crimes against the person such as homicide, infliction of wounds, and battery. Punishment by retribution is set by law, but the victim or his next of kin may waive such retribution by accepting blood money or financial compensation, diyat, or by foregoing the right altogether. Because of this waiver, it has been suggested that this crime is in the nature of a private injury, more akin to a tort than to a crime involving a public interest or concern. We will discuss the hudud first. What is the crime and what is the punishment? Hudud crimes are prescribed punishment by God with hudud. Hudud is the purpose of the prescribed punishment, must be carried out as prescribed by Allah, cannot be more or less than the resolution. Hudud is the rule of God and cannot be removed by anyone, whether individuals or specific groups. This sentence is considered to be the right of Allah, and the aim is for the benefit of the general public to resist evil and bring benefits to them. So, what types of crime categorized as hudud crimes? Hudud crimes consist of 7 kinds of criminal penalties. The first is the crime of adultery.
أولادكم خشية إملاق نحن نرزقهم وإياكم إن قتلهم كان خطأ كبيرا ولا تقربوا الزنا إنه كان فاحشة وساء سبيلا. لا إله.
Next is criminal charges of zina, which is qazaf. Both those who accuse women of adultery without 4 people witness will be subject to caning, and the right qualifications they give witness is removed. A husband who accuses his wife of adultery should swear by Allah 4 times, and the 5th time he vowed to be cursed by God if lying. The third one is crime of drinking alcohol. Evidence of the crime of drinking alcohol has been described in the Quran, including any intoxicating substances. Prophet Muhammad imposes caning to criminals as much as 40 times consumption of alcohol. Caliph Umar also added penalty of 40 lashes more and make it as a ta'zir. The fourth crime is theft crime. The fifth crime is robbery. Next is the crime of murtad, apostasy. In Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 217, Allah has said, "And they will continue to fight you until they return you back from your religion if they are able. And whoever of you reverts from his religion to disbelief and dies while he is a disbeliever, for those their deeds have become worthless in this world and the hereafter. And those are the companions of the fire, they will abide therein eternally." The last one is the crime against the government. These 7 major crimes in hudud are provided proof text in Islamic law in terms of offences and penalties. These crimes are not defined by ijtihad. After hudud, in criminal law of Islam we have qisas crime. Qisas crimes are also bound by the rules no criminal and penal without evidence. Qisas encompassed 5 crimes: murder or intentional killing, quasi-intentional killing or voluntary manslaughter, as when a person intends only to beat another, but in doing so kills him, involuntary killing, intentional physical injury, and the last one is unintentional physical injury. Talion was allowed only in instances of intentional killing and intentional physical injury. Even here, retribution could be waived by the victim or his family, and monetary compensation, diyat, could be exacted instead. For other qisas crimes, only monetary compensation was exacted. The diyat for killing was set by most jurists at 100 camels or 1,000 gold of dinars. The last one in Islamic criminal law is ta'zir. Ta'zir comprised essentially 2 categories of crimes. The first consisted of those crimes that did not meet the strict requirement of hudud crimes, although they were the same nature, or those individual crimes that were included in hudud. Examples of the former are theft among relatives or theft of the things below a minimum value for a hard punishment. For example, attempted robbery, attempted fornication, and lesbian context. The second category included those acts that generally cause damage to the public order or public interest, or threatened to cause such damage. In the nature of things, the second category, if not kept in check, could result in precautionary measures that might compromise individual rights. Therefore, a balance had to be maintained between public order and individual rights. Punishment for a ta'zir could range from the exceptional death penalty for espionage and heresy to whipping, imprisonment, local banishment, and fines for a variety of crimes. Jurists were careful, though, to limit whipping to a level below that ordered for hudud punishment. The questionable impact of implementing Muslim criminal law has been documented in a number of Muslim countries. The experience of countries such as Iran, the Sudan, and Pakistan has demonstrated how problematic and even zalim or cruel the effect can be of seeking to implement Islamic law, or rather certain historically limited understandings of its principles and intentions. That experience highlights the need, prior to any such attempted implementation, for careful and intellectually searching attention to be given to the basis of the interpretation of Sharia law, to the manner and different cultural contexts of its past evolution, and to the undesirable consequences of any anachronistic application of Sharia principles to modern conditions in historically archaic forms or via pre-modern codification. For example, in Malaysia, the Kelantan Bill accordingly requires our careful observation. It is the religious duty of the Ummah to ensure that the recent Kelantan enactment does not contravene, in either its letter or spirit, the eternal principle of justice and equality that are not only enjoyed by the Quran, but which in fact it is the central purpose of any proposed codification of Sharia to uphold and protect.
Saya nak cerita sikit tentang hukum hudud ni banyak kali dah, tapi tuan-tuan kena dengar dengan tenang. Iaitu nak buat hukum hudud ini ialah satu sejarah yang bukan, satu usaha yang bukan senang, susah. Sehingga para sarjana seperti Salim Awar menyebut bahawasanya pada kurun yang kedua lagi selepas kewafatan Nabi, hudud telah tak begitu ditekankan dalam pelaksanaannya oleh pemerintah-pemerintah orang Islam. Bukan kerana mereka tak mau buat, tapi masyarakat itu berubah. Manusia mula tak benar dan seumpamanya, maka kurang penekanan itu kurang. Dalam dunia moden, beberapa negara cuba laksanakan hudud tapi gagal. Antaranya Pakistan, dia enactmentkan tapi dia gagal buat kerana tak mampu dengan keadaan dan tindak balas masyarakat, tak mampu. Dan terutama dalam dunia yang terbuka, yang adanya tekanan kuasa-kuasa luar dan seumpamanya terhadap negara. Yang kedua ialah negara yang cuba buat ialah Libya. Libya juga enactmentkan tapi juga tak pernah menjalankan. Bahkan ada di kalangan para ulama besar seperti Syekh Mustafa Zarqa. Siapa yang baca kitab fiqh dia akan tahu, dalam dunia moden ni banyak tokoh-tokoh besar dalam fiqh seperti Al-Qaradawi, Mustafa Zarqa, dan Az-Zuhaili, dah ramai mereka ini. Mustafa Zarqa guru yang dia Abu Zahrah, ini nama-nama besar dalam fiqh. Mustafa Zarqa sendiri menasihati kerajaan Libya supaya jangan buat hukuman rejam, takut mendapat reaksi buruk terhadap Islam oleh pihak luar. Pengalaman. Ada negara yang buat sekejap tapi hentikan. Sudan buat sekejap kemudian hentikan.
Criminal law in Islam is to protect the interests of the general public in the life. It is also for the harmonious relationship between society, irrespective of religion and race. Islamic criminal law is not just to punish offenders, but it gives a lesson to the people in order to preserve masalih dururiyah.
Don't want to be afraid, hard not to hesitate, but we can't wait to be the change. It's not too late, free from hate. Think of the future that we could create. Face the facts today. There's a better way.
Chance.
The society